With as many smart devices as I have in my home, I still haven't been able to create this completely seamless smart home that has every device working together in harmony. Part of the reason for that is just that I'm always testing new products, but another big part of that is that the big players in this industry haven't really played well together. I own products from just about every major player in this smart home industry and even a lot of the minor ones. And as I was looking at the upcoming Matter standard, I was still finding a pretty big gap in my smart home versus what that standard was going to manage. See, I use a ton of Zigbee products, and yes, they go into the SmartThings hub that I have in my home, and a lot of those smart home hubs should see better compatibility with things like smart speakers as the Matter standard comes out. However, I still can't use these kinds of smart speakers to directly control my Zigbee products, and therefore I'm always going to have this middle layer of smart home hubs. Personally, I'd like to eliminate that, but it appeared as if Google and their whole lineup of products and Apple and their lineup of speakers were never going to address this issue, and so I was going to be left with this middle layer. But today I get to tell you how that's all going to go away and how your home is about to come together perfectly. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to take the frustration out of automation by preparing you for something coming in the very near future, and this will seriously impact the decisions you make in terms of what you buy for your smart home. Now, speaking of changes to what you're going to buy, today's video sponsor is SmartBug, and they've created a brand new smart switch with some pretty interesting capabilities that I think you're going to want to have a look at. This is the smart switch that can pretty much do it all, including having many touch features like a tap, a double tap, and a long press. It can become an IR controller, so it can manage those TVs and other devices that aren't so smart in your home. It can measure temperature, humidity, and power, and of course, control anything attached to that switch, including load-bearing devices like fans and appliances. One of the things I really like about SmartBug and the technology behind it is that it's a wireless mesh device, and that means as you add more SmartBugs to your home and create that swarm, what you're actually going to have is just one single device on your Wi-Fi, and if that device ever fails, the whole network just repairs itself and everything goes back to working instantly. So go check out SmartBug's Kickstarter campaign, which is already funded, which means you'll actually get your device. And as they work to their stretch goals, you'll see some of the new other features they're looking at creating. So let me get back to this problem I'm having. I have all these Zigbee devices, and I'm looking at the upcoming Matter standard that is largely ignoring Zigbee. And when you look at the Matter standard in general, it's using Wi-Fi or Ethernet connectivity plus Thread, which is kind of a replacement for Zigbee, and Bluetooth. But Zigbee is not being mentioned anywhere in here. And when you think about all of the smart speakers that you have purchased in the last 3 years, here's a pretty exhaustive list of what you might have in your home. Every one of those on this list has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but how many of them on that list have Thread available? And actually, if you take that list of ones that have Thread radios on them, how many of them actually have the Thread radios turned on? That list gets even smaller. So we have pretty slim pickings for Thread at the moment, and that means we don't have a lot of smart home Matter controllers that will work within these low power devices we have. But we already have a ton of those, or at least I already have a ton of those devices. They are Zigbee. Now, the Zigbee devices I have in my home, what the Matter standard said about that is, okay, we'll take these smart home hubs, this middle layer of devices that you have, and we'll turn them into a bridge that allows them to communicate with your Zigbee devices, therefore leaving forever in our homes these extra smart home hubs that we probably don't need. This is an absolute pain, it's an absolute cost, and it's causing me problems like duplicate devices in my voice assistants, and this is all just terrible. So I was walking through and updating my LinkedIn profile, which, yes, I still do have one and I still maintain it despite what I do for a living. But one of the organizations that I follow there is the Zigbee Alliance, or at least the Zigbee Alliance under their new name, the Connectivity Standards Alliance. That new name, I think, has given them a broader mandate that would have them looking at problems that you and I are experiencing in our smart home just like this. So as I'm scrolling through their list of posts, I happen upon this release that not a lot of people are taking note of, and I dig into the details because it says right on the page that it's going to allow my smartphone or my tablet to use its Bluetooth radio to control all of my Zigbee devices directly. It's even called Zigbee Direct, and yes, that means that you will soon have a smartphone or a tablet capable of controlling your Zigbee devices. But as I read into the details, there's one thing that really brightens my day, and I think it's about to brighten your day. And there's one other thing that gives me a little bit of pause and causes me to rethink how I'm preparing my smart home for the Matter standard when it releases. The big thing that made me really happy and excited and create this video is the fact that they directly state that smart home controllers that you have in your home with a Bluetooth radio on them will be able to take advantage of this as well. So that means when we go back to that list, that every device you've bought in the last 3 years is going to be able to take advantage of Zigbee Direct. Now, here's the rub. Although, as I say, here's the rub, isn't that the good thing? Isn't that kind of what we're all hoping for? Anyways, I don't know where that saying comes from, but it doesn't make any sense. What I'm trying to say is, this is the thing that has me kind of rethinking how I'm preparing for the next stage of my smart home. A single Zigbee device in your network has to be capable of speaking both Zigbee and Bluetooth languages. So you've got to at least have one of those devices because you've got to make that Bluetooth connection, and from there it goes on. There's only a couple of devices I know of right now that are capable of doing that, and it's actually only been available in the last little while. It's almost like Signify knew this was coming because your Philips Hue lights in the last couple of years have both of those technologies available to them. So I think we all need to find these other dual language or dual radio devices. And yes, your smart home hub that you have currently is probably going to fit that bill. But the whole point is to get rid of those over time and not have to upgrade this extra device in your home, and hopefully get to a point where we can just control everything off of our smart home speakers. So we need to go out and we need to find more of these dual language or dual radio devices. And this will help us come the Matter standard and come the release of this new Zigbee Direct standard, the ability to start eliminating some of these hubs in our home and not have to upgrade those devices any longer. This all goes to the need for you and I to purchase the right smart home products. And in order to do that, you have to be prepared for what's coming in the industry. And that's why I created the full walkthrough of the upcoming Matter standard, and I explained how it's going to change your home. That video's up on screen. Go check it out, get prepared, and buy the right products so you're not wasting your money here for the next 6 months until that standard comes out. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, everyone, and of course, don't hate, automate.